How would you describe your Jewish journey? Everyone has been on a journey ever since the very beginning of the Jewish people. In this week's parasha, we begin the Jewish journey. Although they left Egypt about a year ago, and they've been at Sinai for quite a long time, receiving laws and commandments, this is now the parasha where the people of Israel finally set off on their journey. And Moses asks his father-in-law, "Would you like to come with us on the journey?" Moshe says, "Nos'im anachnu el hamakom asher amar Hashem oto etin lachem." He says to his father-in-law, we're finally going to the land of Israel. We're going to the place that God promised us that God would give to us. And so we are finally now ready to set off on the journey to the promised land. Would you like to be part of the Jewish journey? Now, Yitro, Moses' father-in-law, is not an Israelite, and he decides not to go along. He says, "Ki im el artzi ve'el moladeti elech." He says that he's had a wonderful experience being connected to the Jewish people, but now he's going back, el artzi, to my land, ve'el moladeti, to my birthplace. He's going back to his roots. And these words that Yitro uses hearken us back to the very first Jewish journey, to the journey of Lech Lecha, where God said to Abraham, "Lech Lecha me'artzecha u'mimoladtecha," these very words. Go from your land, from your birthplace, go to the land that I will show you, and there I will make of you a great nation. And so the Torah is giving us echoes of that Lech Lecha moment and simply pointing out, although Yitro is a great guy, he is not taking a Lech Lecha journey. He is making the choice to stay in his comfort zone, to stay with his roots, and that's okay. And by the way, just parenthetically, many have asked me over the years, why is it okay that Moses married someone from another background? Is this an interfaith marriage? Is this something that we're okay with? And the answer is it's very anachronistic to look at the relationship between Moses and Zipporah in the way that we look at relationships now between different religious faiths. This predated any of those concerns. And we very much admire Yitro as a religious leader, and we admire him as a great father-in-law, as we would anyone from any background who is treating their son-in-law with good respect and with love, as Yitro did. So getting back to the Jewish journey, Yitro does not take a Jewish journey. The people of Israel are now about to move forward into the wilderness and toward the promised land. And by the way, at this point in the book of Bimidbar, they don't know that it will take 40 years. All of the events that led up to that delay haven't yet happened. It's interesting to note that this language of Lech Lecha comes up with another Gentile who does take that journey, someone that we recently read about during the festival of Shavuot, and that is Ruth. Ruth, who does take a journey from her land of origin, from Moab, to the land of Israel to be part of the family with Naomi and to really become a matriarch in the Jewish nation. And when she meets Boaz, the language there too has echoes of Lech Lecha. Boaz says, "I heard about what you did. I heard about the sacrifice that you made. Vata azvi avich ve'imech." You, Ruth, you left your father and your mother, ve'eretz moladetech, and the land of your birth. Vatelchi el am asher lo yadat. Tmol shilshom, and you came to be part of a nation that you did not know previously. This is almost exactly a Lech Lecha reference, to go to a place where you do not know, but to leave your father's house, to leave the comfort of your upbringing. That is exactly what Abraham is asked to do, and that is what Ruth does, even though she isn't asked. And so Ruth takes a Lech Lecha journey, and Yitro in our parasha simply does not. And it highlights for us that many of the heroes of the Torah have been on a journey of sorts. Yaakov too, who becomes Israel, and he sets forth away from home to find himself and to come back as a leader. Yosef as well, Joseph goes out to Egypt and becomes a leader of the Jewish people. Even Moses runs away from Egypt, and there is where he's spoken to God in the burning bush. So it always requires a journey of sorts, a setting forth, a lech lecha moment. And that is the hero's journey in our Torah. So when I ask you, what is your Jewish journey, whether you grew up in the Jewish community or you chose it for yourself later in life, all of us have made a decision to become part of the Jewish nation, to be part of the Jewish journey in some way or another. And that often involves leaving a comfort zone, throwing our fate in with the Jewish people. And perhaps this Shabbat you can think about the ways in which you can make that Jewish journey more concrete. What do I want to see happening in the next phase of my Jewish journey? How do I want to develop as a member of this nation? How do I want to make sure that I feel part of our community, even if I'm not physically in the synagogue building all the time? How am I making sure that I'm connected to the synagogue? How am I ensuring that I'm part of the shar, part of the Jewish learning, part of everything that being Jewish is all about on Shabbat, on festivals, and every day? Every day is a part of our Jewish journey, and I'm so glad to be a part of yours. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.